Oh, mate. What another lovely day out at Ningaloo, eh?
How good is this, mate?
This is beautiful.
It does not get any better, I'll tell you what. We've had a day of snorkeling, day of fishing, day of diving.
It's beautiful. It's a bit slow on the fishing, isn't it?
It is, eh? What's been going on?
It's not usually like that.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
What you got there, dude?
One.
Pull her up, pull her up. Damn.
What on earth is that?
You know what, mate? That's got to be the Subsea oil and gas pipeline.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding, mate.
Truth.
Yeah, so just for some background information, the Subsea 7 is a foreign multinational corporation who are currently proposing a pipeline and launch facility at Heron Point in the Exmouth Gulf. The oil and gas pipelines are going to be 10 kilometres long, assembled on shore, and then rolled down the rail lines, launched into the shallows of the coastline, potentially doing a lot of damage. Is that right, Davis?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Exmouth is about 13 hours north of Perth. It's a really famous West Australian tourism town, famous for its diving, with whale sharks, fishing, and beautiful coastline, particularly the Ningaloo Reef, which is actually a World Heritage listed site as of 2011. So basically from there, the planned pipeline that Subsea 7 want to put in is going to damage what is a very sensitive and very valuable coastline, and the damage that would be done rolling the pipelines out would sort of really affect the coastline and really endangered species that they've got up there, namely the whale sharks, manta rays, dugongs, endangered seabirds, and the humpback whale migration. Yeah,
definitely. So it potentially has it'll have a large impact on the state's economy in terms of how it'll affect tourism. But how will it affect you personally, Davis? Because I know that you have somewhat of a connection with the region.
Yeah. So the reason why we sort of chosen this as our topic is because I've been going to Exmouth since I was a little kid, and it's sort of my favourite place on earth. And I think it's really important to have a real passion for the things that affect you and you've got a personal connection to. So yeah, for me personally, I'd love to see fishing and diving and all the fun sustainable activities for years and years to come, not just for my generation or our generation, but for generations to come. And I just don't think this is a right way to
Absolutely
go.
Could compromise the whole region.
Absolutely. So that's why we big environmental issue, contextually relevant to WA, and that's why we're looking into it.
So there are, of course, some direct physical impacts that may result from this this pipeline development. Oil and gas spills are certainly not an uncommon thing, and a mass pollution event like that would have absolutely huge repercussions in the region and affect the ecosystem as a whole. But an overarching idea is this is climate change. Really, we need to address that, and it begins in a singular event. Whilst one thing will not change the entire scheme of climate change, we need a worldwide approach to it, and it starts with not letting things like this go ahead.
Yeah, so speaking more broadly terms, the effect of climate change on our coral reef systems, fortunately enough, so far it hasn't had as much of an impact on Ningaloo Reef as, say, the Great Barrier Reef, which has suffered massive coral reef loss due to coral bleaching, which basically occurs from rising sea temperatures, which discolours and essentially kills the skeleton of the coral. And then also acidification as well.
That's right, that occurs due to the carbon dioxide being absorbed by the water, which then causes the pH levels to rise, and that's what causes that. Yeah,
I think it's about 30% of the world's carbon dioxide emissions are actually absorbed by the water.
Oh, really? That's a hell of a lot.
So speaking broadly, that's how climate change affects coral reef systems. Mate, well, Nico, that's some pretty hectic stuff. I'm not sure about you, but
I need a little break, buddy.
Mate, I think it's time for a dive, isn't it?
Let's do it.
See you down there.
See you, mate.
Okay.
Under the sea, Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Up on the shore, they work all day. Out in the sun, they slave away. While we're devoting full time to floating under the sea.
Oh, mate, might be taking us out for a little surface, Arvo. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, as you know, mate, Exmouth is really known for its surfing as well as all its other beautiful tourism activities.
That's it, yeah. What is it? I think every year the region brings in about 359 million per year.
Yeah, so
Pre-COVID?
So pre-COVID, it was a really big chunk of our tourism industry, which actually brought in, on average, 337,000 visitors a year to the Gascoyne region. So speaking more holistically how it would affect the state as a whole, being one of our major tourism attractions, if something, say, like the Subsea 7 project came in, it would decrease the sustainable approach that these tourism operators could be using. So all our marquee activities would be diminished, hence therefore taking away from...
For sure. But even being amidst COVID now, it's such a resource for us as West Australians to have an outlet and somewhere to go for us to, move around the state and spend our money.
Well, exactly, yeah. It's been really important for all those people that have been bound to WA and they haven't gone out and explored it. So it is such a valuable resource, not just to international tourism, but also to localised West Australians. And so it's really important for our state economy that we do keep this precious resource sustainably used for years and years and years to come.
100%. So we want you guys to think about how this little talk that we've made, how we can make this relevant as educators and how we can bring it into the classroom. What sort of activities can we do with the students about sustainability, how we can teach them about sustainability. So that's what we're going to get you to think about in the upcoming
So we've got a little activity to do. Nick and Davis and I, we'll run through with you what we're going to do. So we'll hand it over to those two guys. Time for a surf, mate.
Let's go.
Cowabunga.
Sure.